Hello, hello, everyone. Welcome in. I am not in my usual place. I am here in the Dreams with Jam studio. So, slightly different digs this time than what we're used to. I want to say hello to everyone: Carolyn, Deb, Lainey, Varda, um, Leah. Keto is here. Oh my goodness, we have a keto sighting. Um, oh goodness, I'm almost Zach. I didn't want to forget Zach. Um, Let's see if I forgot you, I'm terribly sorry. I've never done this before, so this is a brand new thing that we're trying here. And yes, Keto is my internet daughter. So good to see you. Here we are. Hey, bud. So anywho, and hello, Christy and Michu. Bonjour. That, by the way, is half the French I know. The other half, unfortunately, is mostly profanity. So it's good to see everyone, and I'm going to be for the first time gaming on a live stream. Hello, Ella, welcome in. Thank you for joining us. So you are getting the button down version of Professor Jam tonight. So no PowerPoints, no lectures. We're just going to do some gaming. I obviously will be talking because it's civilization and it's history, and I love that stuff. My camera's in a new position, so I may be looking down at the bottom of the screen a lot. Sorry, I don't know what to tell you. But thank you for your patience as we get through all this. Yes, I am wearing a Star Trek shirt because Deb got it. Okay, so it's the original. It's the OG. It is the original series one. The only rule for this particular channel, um, I enjoy all kinds of science fiction. I am, non-denominational, but I do not tolerate any Star Trek slander at all. So there you go. So good to see everyone. And yes, Lainey, I am in Jam's hot seat. Although, to be fair, technically speaking, both studios and everything in this house is really our hot seat. So, okay, wonderful. Enjoy your lurk, Keto. So we are going to, hello, welcome in. Amanda, sorry, I was trying to remember. And so we're going to go ahead and go, and let me know if the volume from the game is a little too loud or too soft. I can adjust it as needed. So I understand that in about 15 hours, y'all over in DDV land are getting a Hercules update. And therefore, I decided that for the first Civilization game, I'm going to play the Greeks. So we're going to go ahead and go with the Greeks. In this one, I chose Pericles, who was probably the most prominent statesman from the golden age of classical Greece. And by the way, fun fact, you may notice that, that he's wearing this sort of elongated helmet on his head. Almost every single statue or bust of Pericles that you see he's wearing a helmet. And that's actually because he technically had, in life, he had a slightly elongated head. I don't know if that was due in large measure to some trauma in the birth canal. I don't know. But his political enemies, of course, used it to make fun of him. He was he had the, big old egg head. But thankfully, this is, excuse me, my train of thought got derailed. So instead, what most of the sculptors did is they sculpted him with a helmet on his head to sort of cover it up. So, and yes, Lainey, this is on the PlayStation. Now, you'll please note, game difficulty, settler. This is supposed to be fun and cozy. I am not here for a challenge, and I certainly don't want to rage quit in the middle of something. So yeah, and Varda, I mean, I'm curious to see what exactly y'all are going to get in this update. So um, so we're going to go ahead and get started. I usually do standard game speed. I prefer continents just because you get some oceans, but you know, it's not too bad. It's not a single continent. It's varied, so I like that. I do generally go in to um, the advanced options. And by the way, Carolyn, my favorite is if you want to, I propose as a nickname that we call baby Cerberus Serby for short, but that's just me. Oh, and by the way, lest anyone forget, I am ready with my sips, but I got Fresca. I got some soda water, so I'm changing it up. So let's go into the advanced options. So we talked about the map options. Now in this game, there's a bunch of different ways you could win. You could do it by, well, here, I'll show you here, a cultural victory, which is essentially you inspire the entire world through your cultural achievements. Essentially, what in political science terms, we call this soft power. So no, actually, Lainey, it's not. This is the new Peach version, and it is distressingly good. I don't know. I have no idea how they magically got this to taste so good. I suspect witchcraft, but it's really, really good. And it has zero sugar, but it doesn't taste like it. So I recommend it. So there's a science victory in which you can win the game by being the first to send a colony mission to Mars. As a science fiction fan, obviously that's up my alley. You can win by having a high score. Now, there's two other kinds of victories you can get in this game that I have disabled. One is the conquer everyone. And I got to be honest, I'm a man of peace. I don't want to necessarily go down as another, bloodthirsty tyrant. So, plus, if nothing else, if you want to enjoy your gaming experience, that you can, you absolutely do not want to have to fend off very aggressive neighbors all the time. So, domination victory is off the table. And there is a religious victory in which you do get to found your own religions in this game. You can use pre-existing ones, you can invent your own, whatever it might be. This is a gigantic, and this is a technical term here, pain in the tuchus, because you're going to have other civilizations sending nothing but missionaries and apostles your way. It's just a giant pain in the rear. So I just decided I'm just not going to deal with that. So, Ella, is the game anything like Risk? Not really. This is more a combination of exploration and building. It can be a military civilization if you enable the dumb, if you want to play it that way. I don't. I don't like doing that. So I'm much more interested in the other history parts of it. So I just disable the function. That's just me. If you're looking for someone who is, super good at this and is going to give you all the skills, SKILLZ, wrong person. I'm here just to relax and talk history and make a couple dad jokes along the way. So there you go. And by the way, Carolyn, thank you very much. I think you're auditioning for mod status with this. But yes, please do like. If you do enjoy this, I am trying to grow an infant channel. Subscribing would be even better. We're up to 86, which I know in the grand scheme of things isn't a lot, but it's a lot for me, and it makes me happy. So thank you very much. Heidi, welcome in. So we're going cozy. Game options, obviously, I went settler. Okay, I need to explain something here. Barbarians. Oh boy. Okay, barbarians are essentially unaffiliated marauders. From a game perspective, they're annoying as heck. So I turned the function off. As a historian, I don't like the barbarian slander. Barbarians are not what you think. And actually, by the way, the Greeks came up with the root of the word barbarian. They considered anyone who wasn't Greek to be lesser, and so they called them barbaroi because, according to them, their speech was so primitive and backwards that they sounded like they were going bar, 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 bar when they spoke, hence the term barbarian. And this is the beginning of the slander of the barbarians. The Romans had a different definition. They called barbarians anyone without a written language. So if you were pre-literate society, not illiterate, pre-literate society, they considered you barbarian. But that said, you're absolutely right. There's just way too much barbarian slander. I think once we get through the space race, I may have to do a barbarian stream. So we will see that. Carolyn was a born mod. I completely believe that. All right, game modes. I'm going to play standard, and I picked Pericles. I think we are all good to go. So without further ado, let's get started. And so we're going to go through here, and I'm going to be pretty much talking nonstop. But of course, how's that different from my day-to-day? So, all right, so here we have the dulcet tones of Sean Bean telling us a little bit about the Greeks and Pericles, at least in the game. Now, if you look under features and abilities, every civilization has different advantages. Stream about Vikings, I think we could do that. I think we could do that. By the way, also kind of slandered, but then again, they did kind of earn it because they slaughtered a lot of people. They weren't just slaughterers, but they racked up a body count. One of the advantages of the Greeks in civilization is they build up culture. Their advantages give them greater culture build up faster than other civilizations. So since we have a cultural victory here, I decided to go with them. But I really did it just to tip my hat to the Hercules mod. Although, okay. First pedantic historian point. Well, actually, the Greeks called him Heracles, not Hercules. Hercules was the Roman Timu knockoff version. Pin Carolyn's goal. Okay. Carolyn. Oh, yeah. Pin message. Okay, I've never pinned anything. I've never had a like goal before. So this is new. I'm learning new things. So, now the nice thing is the warriors they have, the hoplites, they were very well suited for actual. I know you're going to get a history lesson. It's me. What did you expect? Greece is, if you've ever looked physically at the terrain of Greece, it's very rocky. It's filled with very sheltered valleys, steep ridges. There's not a lot of room to maneuver. So what the hoplite unit was, it was a bunch of trained warriors who were all in bronze armor and carried massive shields and about a 12 to 14 foot spear. That's 4 to 4.5 meters for those of you using logical measurement units. But it was a tightly packed formation, and they would all attack en masse. And with all of those shields and all of those spears, it was really difficult to break that unit. And therefore, they could act sort of like a human battering ram. And by the way, I agree with you. This music is wonderful. I wish I could hear it. But you get the idea. So the hoplites were wonderfully suited for Greece. They were terribly suited for anywhere else. But they were very well suited for the terrain of Greece. So let's go ahead and jump in. And let's see where we are. Okay, we're going to get through the advisor. All right, so let's take a look. All right, so we are starting on a floodplain. Now, one of the interesting things here is that you do have to take a look at the terrain. We got a couple neat little advantages around here. We've got some grapes up here so we can make our wine. It is Greece after all. Um, you have to discover irrigation technologically before you can do that, but that'll be something nice we could trade with other civilizations or, drink ourselves. Um, Wheat, that'll help the area grow, so that's a good place. I do notice over here there's some deer. We have some game, which will help our production a little bit. So you want to get a mixture. You probably want to have at least two little special resources near you. But the nice thing is we have some fertile terrain out here, but we also got hills and forests out here. That will also help our production so it doesn't take us forever to build everything. Typically, because we're starting in the year 4000 BCE, I typically just plop them down, unless there's something really wrong with the terrain. I plop this down pretty much where the computer gives me. This is a pretty good spot. Could be better, could be worse. It's not bad. So these dark green tiles, that means we have access to fresh water. We're either, we're on a river, and that's, by the way, crucially important. You absolutely have to have fresh water. Um, Bear in mind, in the ancient and classical world, and don't think about this too much, rivers were both your main water source and your main source of sanitation. So yeah, you wanted your settlement to be upriver, but this is what allowed cities to exist, and cities that have more than 10,000 people in them. So we're going to go ahead and plop ourselves down here. I said we're going to go ahead. There we go. Oh, wait, nope. Oh, nuts. And I went the wrong way. That's my warrior unit, my scout. Oh, poop. Okay. Well, oh well. Okay, so let's plop our city down here. We have Athens. Ooh, we got some mountains nearby. Um, so what did I choose for victory? Okay, so we've got three potential victory solutions: culture, science, and overall score. I've just decided that I don't want to get involved in a who can convert more people contest. That's a losing proposition, so I just disabled it. So now we have our first city. It's a little bitty city. It's only got a population of 1, but great things start from small, humble origins. All right. Oh God. Quotes from the game streams. Oh no. I'm gonna get clipped 6 ways from Sunday. Okay, so the first thing we have to do here is decide what we're going to build. Now, we are so small right now. It's going to take us forever to build any buildings or districts to expand the city. We got to wait for our population to grow. So we are going to go ahead and we're going to build a scout. You want to uncover as much of the map as possible, because if you look right now, um, literally we got nothing. We have no idea what's out there. And so you want to uncover as much as you can. So we're going to build a scout. It's going to take 6 turns, but we can do it. And then we have to decide on a technology. I'm just a moment. I'm going to have to disable, hold on, my face is going to disappear for a while. I know you're heartbroken. I need to see. So what we could do is mining or pottery. We could do animal husbandry, but to be honest, we don't have any animals within easy range. If we're lucky, we're going to gain 1 more hex as the city grows to level 2. The deer are entirely too far away, so we can either mine for resources. Sailing's not going to do us any good because we're not near a coast. And astrology, that would take a while. You start with basic technologies, and that's why we have this technology tree. So these are the most basic ones. I'm going to go with pottery. Pottery unlocks a ton, and it allows you to harvest. And remember, we have that wheat, so we're going to want to do that. It'll build a granary. That'll help us grow. Hello, Dawn. Welcome in. So we're going to choose that. And we're going to advance our turn. Okay, so now we get into the issue of which way do we start scouting. You want to scout and find as much as you can. Now, the one advantage warriors have, they're not very fast, but that means they can go over rough terrain with really no loss. Because, again, they're not very fast. But I'm going to send them out this way. Let's uncover what we can over here to the west. And we have more deer. But more importantly, check this out. We have a tribal village, or as Jam and I call it, a goody hut. This goody hut here, you get something, an advantage. Sometimes it's a little bit of extra cash, which, oh, hey, listen, who doesn't need more cash? But sometimes it can be technology, and that's really the much more advantageous item. So I'm going to cover up the mini map and give you my wonderful happy face again, because I know you missed me. So this will be good. Now, please note, we got desert up here, so we're not going to want to expand too much in this direction. Deserts don't have a lot of food available for obvious reasons. and yes, Deb, Jam, I do believe that my geography professor is showing. So let's get the goody hut. Let's see what we get. All right, boom. Oh, that was the best possible thing. Okay, builders. Builders are amazing. Builders, that you want that. That is incredibly helpful because now you can start developing some of these resources around you. Now, the problem we're running into is we haven't discovered the irrigation technology, so I don't think we can actually create a farm here. Let me see if we can. Can I create a farm here? Let's see. Oh, it's just a regular farm. Okay. So that's not the kind of, all right, so that's not going to develop. It's just going to give us your basic farm development. We're going to hold on because each of these builders can only do 3 improvements before they are expended. We're not kidnapping them. They voluntarily joined us. They were so impressed by our great Greekness that they wanted to join us. At least that's the story that I'm sticking with. So, but this is good. Now, until then, we can use scouts. We can use these workers as scouts. Now, if you have barbarians enabled, don't do that. Do not do that because they can get captured. But since we don't have barbarians enabled, we're good to go. Okay, so now one of the nice things is sometimes go a little bit one at a time. So okay, we have our coastline. But it's on desert. Yeah, there's some wheat up here, but that's going to be some rough pumpkins. So I'm going to head us south. And I am going to send these guys, I think, up this way. So, okay, well, see, now we're getting into some rainforest. Now, this is a neat little clue. Because when you get into deserts and rainforests, you know it's getting warmer. So apparently we're in the southern hemisphere. That means the further south we go, or down we go, the colder it's going to get. And the game is pretty good about keeping the biomes consistent. So, all right, that's helpful. All right, let us see. There doesn't seem to be a lot going out this way. Well, let's see what we got up this way. Now, ooh, another goody hut. Another goody hut. Now, the trick is, can I get to that before a neighbor swoops in and takes it? So let's find out.
Our city continues.
Okay, I'm going to send these guys down here. Now, when you go into hills, oop, did you see that? Goody hut number 2. When you go into hills, it does slow you down, but you can see more. You're up higher. So that is all good. And as you can imagine, trekking through rainforest is a long slog. So so the question is, did I get the, did she get the sing song from me or did I get it from her? I think I probably got it from her. That's my guess. We've now grown to level 2. We're about to get our scout unit.
Reconnaissance units like scout.
Yep, we got our scout. So let's head south. Now, where to send the scouts? I have a strong suspicion that this mountain range continues here, which means there's no point in going this way. So I'm going to send these scouts out this way. So that's how I can bring my workers back home. After they... And we got 40 gold. You can do worse than that. Okay, now that we're at level 2, though, we can do something equally important. And that would be expanding our civilization. We need to build another city. So we are going to build a settler. Now, when you build a settler, once it's built, your city's population goes down a level, but you can now found a new city. One of the things I'm noticing is this actually looks like it could be pretty good territory. I may send the worker out this way, just to, get a little look-see. Let's see what we got. Oh my God, I got another builder. Yes. So now, not only do we have 2 builders, I didn't have to build a single one of them. But now each city gets to have one. That's going to help us grow tremendously. So I was right. Did you see that? That mountain range just continued. I knew it. So let's scout this area. Ooh, now let's go by the river. Rivers are important. Let's see if there's a good place to go here. Series button. Well, you got to push the button with authority. You have to let the controller know you mean business. Okay, so I will pop over because I'm about to discover irrigation, which means I'm going to be able to develop some of these territories. Oh, and look, we're going to be able to get out into some open country. Ooh, tobacco. I could become the forerunners to the cancer stick empire. Ooh, horses. All right, you'll want these. Horses give you... horses are a resource. In early civilizations, horses are incredibly important because suddenly now you can move faster. If you can move faster, you can communicate much more quickly. I mean, you got to remember, communication's only at the speed of travel. So horses made a big difference once we learned how to domesticate them. So, and you might want them from cavalry. So that's a key resource. We're going to send our settlers up here. We also have rice over here in this savanna swampland. So, cool beans.
I thought claim.
Okay, we have discovered pottery. So now I can start improving my civilization. And I will do that here. And there we go. Now, the very first, I'm going to name him Jump Jump. The very first time you build a farm, you get what's called a eureka, a boost to a technology. So it gives us half the research cost of developing irrigation. That's going to help us with those grapes up there. So we are actually in a pretty good position so far. Things are looking up. Let's see. Oh yeah, this is going to be a good site. Okay, so now we need to decide what we're going to do. We have to research a new technology. Now, we got the boost for irrigation, which is going to help, but we could go with animal husbandry. That would allow us to build to be technical, a horsey enclosure. Since horses are important, I think we're going to go with this rather than irrigation. So we're going to go ahead and research that. Oh, look, there's some marble down here. Because really, what would the Greeks be without marble? I mean, come on. And by the way, this looks like a good area. Look, we got some seafood off the coast. Another city. This would be a good coast city. Okay, well, there's not much more I can do. Now, there's one thing you can do to see how your city's going. You click on it, and you go to this item right here. So, or this shows where your people are placed. And right now, you want the areas that have both food and production for obvious reasons. You want food for people, you want production so you can build things. We can eventually build a mine. Now, this would be a good place for a mine on this grassland. When you build a mine, you add to its production capacity. So I think we're going to go ahead and I think I'm going to mine that area. How important are horses to the Greeks? Incredibly. Every civilization desperately needed horses. Horses were, in early warfare, they were a huge advantage. They were the tanks of the day. Initially, you had horses drawing carriages, or you could have mounted warriors. A lot of early civilizations didn't have a lot of mounted archers because they hadn't invented the stirrup yet. So if you know anything about horses, they had to constantly squeeze the horse's side with their legs to stay on. That's going to make it very difficult to also draw a bow and aim it while staying on the horse. Some civilizations were able to perfect that, but horses were absolutely critical, and they're just as important in this game. So we are going to do that. Okay, so we're going to go ahead and build our mine over here. Whose mine? Mine. Let's scout out here. Oh, we have found a city-state. Okay, so this is a small, unaligned, it's not a full civilization, but it's a settlement. Now, the names are randomized, so you're going to find names from the Americas in what is Greece. So don't look for logic here. But they can give you some advantages. And now remember, as the Greeks, we get a culture bonus every time, you know, we get on very good terms with a city-state, and you want to build an alliance. So I'm going to show you how that works. So now what's interesting here is they have sent us a quest. Build a holy site. Now we can't do that yet. We haven't even discovered astrology. We can't build a holy site till we've discovered astrology. But once we do, if we do that, I'm going to show you what that can do. So we head over here on to the menu over here. And this is the city Mitla. This little exclamation point means that they have a task for us. And so now what's interesting about this, hold on a second, is that we're not the first to discover them. The first time a civilization discovers them, they get an envoy. We didn't get one, which means we have a neighbor out here somewhere. Hello, Zoe. Welcome on in. Or Z. Sorry, old eyes. I'm so glad you joined us. So this is a good indication. Yeah, we have a little competition brewing. That's not awesome. Oh well. Well, let's see if we can track down who the mystery neighbor is out this way. Oh boy. Let's go this way. I know I'm getting kind of far out from where I want to put my city, my second city, but oh well. We are in the scouting around phase right now. Let's see what's up this way. More rainforest. Cool. My guess would be that whoever our neighbor is probably out this way. But they missed a goodie hut, so. Welcome, Jesse. All right. Oh, just same. This game it gave rise to the dreaded just one more turn. It is addictive as heck. Well, the nice thing is I got a bunch of shoreline out this way. Okay, we have arrived here. We are going to... Oh, I haven't discovered mining technology yet. Whoops. Okay, so we're just going to walk around and see what there is to discover then, because... Oh, goodness. All right, let's get the goodie hut. Oh, now that gave us some extra population. That is huge. That's good. The more people you have, the more productive you have. The more productive you are. And remember, in the ancient world, you know, quantity was quality. Not so much these days. We have machines and robots and
Enacting
all
new
that sort of thing
policies in
to
our
do
government.
our
That is best.
laboring for us. Oh, and we discovered code of laws, which means we can actually now have some government policy. We actually have the government now. So, and because we're Greeks, so you have a military slot, an economic slot, and we get a wild card slot. Since we don't have barbarians, we don't need discipline, so we're going to go survey, so our recon units get extra experience. We're going to go with God King because you needed to build up faith before you can build a holy site, and plus the gold helps. But since we get one extra, we're going to go ahead and get some extra production. There we go. That's the other advantage of the Greeks, at least in this game. And so, we're going to have to ford this river here. If anyone has any questions or wondering, hey, Doc, why you doing that? Please just shout it out in chat, and I will be more than happy to talk about it. All right. Where is Mr. I could head south, but I'm going to follow the river a little bit. Ah, there they are. It's Jadwiga, the King of Poland. And yes, it is. She insisted on being called a king. So we're going to be nice. We're going to be diplomatic. Who doesn't like a good festive folk dance? Sure thing. We're going to be nice. And the first time you discover a new civilization, you get an advance on writing, because now you have to learn how to write so you can communicate. So that's where our neighbor was. That's good. Okay. But now we sort of have a little bit of an issue because she's going to be expanding in our direction. We're going to be expanding in hers. So we are going to have to, we're definitely going to have to plop down a city in relatively short order. Hello, Emily. Welcome in. Let's see. All right. Oh, we have something else. Let's see. Oh, now we can start discovering civics. Okay. So let's go to our civics tree. I need 500 subs. At this point, I'd settle for getting a new one, but I appreciate it. So craftsmanship would allow us to develop these, but to be fair, early empire and mysticism are better. Early empire gives us some more government options. Mysticism is important, especially if you want to develop a religion. So we're going to go for foreign trade. 3,000 watch hours. Well, if you guys just keep asking me questions about space travel, we'll get to 3,000 hours in no time at all. Yes, I have my particular obsessions. All right, so, oh, we have another source of horses. Okay, all right. We are filling in the map here. All right, well, I'm going to... Oh, let's see. Do we go south or north? I think we are... I don't know. What do you guys think? Do we go north of Krakow and see what's around that this area, or do we head south into the desert? Oh, let's see. Did we meet a like goal? This is the first time we've ever met. This is the first time I've ever had a like goal. Oh my goodness! Thank you, Carolyn. The honor is yours if you want it, but I would absolutely. I am hereby formally extending mod offer to you, but I understand you're in high demand. Deb, I got 4 new subs. Oh my god. Oh my goodness. Okay. Well, let's see. Do we go north or south? I think I gotta go north. Does not fill me with joy, but I think we need to do that. Now notice, Jadwiga's borders here are a dashed line. That means we have open border. Basically, we haven't discovered the technology to be able to close our borders yet. You know what? I'm going to keep that thought to myself. All right. Well, in that case, as soon as I figure out how to make you a mod, Carolyn, I hereby, by the power vested in me as history geek via Robert Morris University, I bestow upon you the temporary honorary mod status until I figure out how to do it for realsies. Okay, so let's go on.
Save his pitting.
Oh,
There
okay.
are no dogs in heaven.
All right,
when
so
I die,
let's see if I can actually handle
I want to
this.
go where they went.
There we go. Yep. And voila. Carolyn, you are now blue. Thank you so much. Okay, so I have now discovered animal husbandry, which means I can actually start building some enclosures for animals, which means we can actually have a horse farm. So, and that'll be good because then we can get some cavalry. Ooh, look, bananas, gems. I will say this, rainforests have a lot of good items. They're a pain in the rear to try to navigate through, and they're not seen as visually very appealing, but they do have good resources. So we need a new technology. Oh God. Now look, the academic in me, oh heavens to Murgatroyd. The academic in me desperately wants writing because I want to build libraries, but I think economically we need irrigation first. So we're going to do that. Hold on just a second. Okay, so we're going to go for irrigation. Oh, I forgot to send a delegation. Well, thank you, Jadwiga. Oh boy, it's the French. Look out, it's the French. This is Catherine de Medici, who, look, like any powerful woman in history, gets immediately slammed as a schemer. That said, she was really good at scheming. So I want to stay on her good side, but more importantly, I need to send some delegations out. So we are going to, that's me. So I'm going to send a delegation to Jadwiga. And I'm going to send one to Mademoiselle de Medici. Mishu, have you played this? Because I know, oh, there's Paris. All right, so we have neighbors to the east and northeast. So yeah, I'm going to have to build up a city over here somewhere. Mishu, let me know if you've played this before. Yeah, because Catherine de Medici definitely has a reputation in the game. Oh, and we have our settler. Good. About time. Okay. Let us see what we can build in terms. I have to turn my face off again. Hold on. All right. Now, with all these neighbors, at some point we are Oh, now here's the question. Do we build another settler? I think we're going to build another settler. I don't want to spread myself too thin, but we are absolutely going to have to do that. And we got to figure out where to send these people. Now the game wants us to go down here. Yeah, Catherine is a bit of a schemer. Bit of a schemer. That said, I want to lock down this northern approach. Catherine makes me nervous. Jadwiga, I'm not too worried about. There's no fresh water in this span between us. Mindy, I gotta tell you, you look great for 10,000. So let's send it up toward the river here. We'll probably send the next one further south, but let's lock this down up this way. So we'll send our settlers. Okay, yeah, that's really close to Catherine de Medici. Eek! I don't want to be that close to her. Oh, fine. All right, well, we'll send you up this way. So, my stalwart warriors over here. This is going to be some good territory down here. Oh, and I see a city-state. Cheese and baguettes. I will not argue with cheese and baguettes. Can you be bought? I could be bought for cheese and baguettes. Herbs too. Olives, not so much. I am not an olive guy. I've just never liked olives. I've tried them on multiple occasions. It hadn't done anything. Okay, well, hold on. Let me see about that city-state, but let's go up this way. Carolyn, right? Gaming is wonderful. I have no patience for... Oh, Muscot wants us to build a holy site too. Hey, 2 birds, 1 proverbial stone. Or in this case, 1 proverbial temple. I know, Jam loves olives. It's just not something I've ever acquired a taste for. Coco, welcome in. Welcome, welcome. All right, and okay, so Jadwiga has already discovered Muscat, and I'm willing to bet Catherine, yeah. So they both have a leg out. Oh my gosh, we got raided. This is my first raid. Oh my goodness. Why, thank you so much. I appreciate this. I don't know what the Emily post is for welcoming raiders, but come on in. You're raiders, not barbarians. Although, if you were here earlier, I'm actually quite pro-barbarian. All right, I have this poor stranded scout who's stuck in the swamps and jungles over here. So let's go. How's the stream go? It seems to be going well. No one's thrown rotten fruit at me, so, I mean, hey, that's good. I'm just trying to figure out how to not have Catherine de Medici absolutely annihilate me. All right, where am I going to send these guys? Oh boy, that would be a good port, but I think... Okay, I think I'm going to plop myself right over here. Zara, hello, welcome on in. Let's see. What did I know about? And Uni, I don't... Oh, there's Uni. Hello, how are you? Sorry, I missed that. So, we are just trying to see if I can build a Greek civilization. All right. Let's see. Where the heck am I? All right. Well, the fun and games of it's been real. It's been fun, but I can't say it's been real fun. So let me see. I'm about to get irrigation, so I'm going to send these workers back down south. Oh, my goodness. Coco, I'm so glad you came in. Actually, I'm so glad everyone came in. Again, this is a first for me. So, oh, we got swamps to the north and swamps to the south. That's awesome. So, I just want to fill in some of this terrain here so I know what I'm dealing with. Well, thank you, Zara. You are more than welcome. And please, any advice would be helpful. I don't claim to be an expert on this.
Thousands have lived without
irrigation.
love,
Okay, good.
without water.
So this allows us to build a wonder. So that will definitely help us out in the culture category. Now, wonders, for obvious reasons, are very expensive to build. Oh, goodness. Do I go here? Do I go one north? I think I'm going to go here. I think this is probably the best place. We are on a hilltop. We have easy access to horses. It gives me an outpost to stop Catherine and her greedy expansionism. So here we go. Yes. We have founded the city of Pharsalos. Well, thank you, Mindy. That's very nice. Hello, Tabby. Welcome in. Always good to see you. How do the Greeks deal with irrigation? The irrigation is really one of the very first ways that human beings started altering the landscape to suit our needs. Simply put, we needed food. What you have to remember. All right, hold on. I'm going to put the controller down. It's not quite story time, but it is history fun fact time. Really, for most of human history, up until about the last 300 years, 90% of people in the world were farmers. Simply because every civilization was two bad harvests away from famine. And so all of these places desperately needed all the food they could find. And remember, if you're in a city, you don't have enough space to grow all your own food yourself. You have to import it from the countryside. So farmers had to grow enough for themselves, and they had to grow more. This is one of the reasons we start developing governments, is to really figure out how do we allocate resources to support this many people. Hey, listen, if you love the idea of anarchy, in the words of Monty Python, creating an autonomous commune, hey, God bless. But once you start getting over a couple hundred people, you need some kind of an organization just to make sure everyone's got enough food. And one of the easiest ways to make sure you get enough food, almost all civilizations grow up around rivers and riverbanks. Fresh water, sanitation, transportation, all of it. The rivers, all the great early civilizations, the Mesopotamians in Sumeria, the ancient Egyptians, the Chinese, India around the Indus River, the Harappan civilization, all of them built up around river valleys because that hit the sweet spot for easy access. But those floodplains in which rivers will overflow their banks, they will deposit a wonderfully rich layer of silt, which is great farmland, but it only extends for maybe 10 kilometers on either side. If you want to expand that territory out, what you do is you dig irrigation canals. You essentially dig ditches to bring the river water further out away from the river, and that expands out your arable land. Now, the Greeks are different. There aren't a lot of rivers in Greece. They were very dependent on either artisanal fresh springs or one of the reasons the Greeks, thank you, Zara, I appreciate that. One of the reasons what we now know is sort of the Mediterranean diet, but the reason Greek cuisine is so particular, distinctive, that's the word. That's the word. um, is because they didn't have a lot of rivers. You couldn't do a lot of large scale, you couldn't plant a lot of crops in terms of cereal crops like wheat. You needed to rely on herding. You need to rely on olive trees, for example, and fishing in order to make ends meet and, as they say, keep body and soul together. So the Greeks actually, they used irrigation from what few sources of fresh water they had just to provide fresh water for their people. So they were a little bit different. The Greeks actually get started late in civilization compared to like the big early ones because they weren't on a river valley. So they were kind of an oddball in that regard. Sorry, I don't want to say oddball. That sounds negative. They were they were distinctive, unique, special. Okay, we need a new we need a new technology. Writing is huge, mainly because it's going to allow us to build libraries, which will give us more science. So we are going to build the libraries. Thank you all, by the way. And if I may pause for a moment for a shameless plug. If you like me talking about history, I do have a history live stream every Thursday at 10 a.m. Eastern Time. We're right now in the middle of a vast multi-part stream on the space race. So consider this a formal invitation to join. And we will finish, we're going to the moon on Thursday. And Carolyn, there's nothing wrong with being a unique oddball. Okay, I'm doing very little playing for a gaming stream. Fun fact, well, here, they need to build some defenses because Catherine's a little close. So I'm going to go ahead and build a slinger. Ranged units are great for defending cities, so he's gonna go take care of that. And my train of thought got derailed again. I was talking about the space race. I was talking about the channel. Oh, when I was a high school teacher, I was a high school teacher for 10 years before I became a college professor. And I didn't leave high school teaching because of the students. I loved the kids. I'm one of those people who actually, I kind of think teenagers are okay. I mean, don't get me wrong, acquired taste, but we were all teenagers once. I know we don't like to admit it. But the kids were fantastic. I left because that was during the bad old days of No Child Left Behind. And if you want a Professor Soren Fanning fun fact, my very first teaching gig ever, to give you an idea how long I've been teaching since years started with a 1. I've been teaching since the 20th century. My very first teaching job was an all-girls Catholic school on the south side of Chicago. And that, I got to tell you, there's many great things to recommend about the Catholic school tradition. The Jesuits actually have one of the oldest European-based institutions and methods of critical inquiry around. They were the forerunners of modern universities. But I will say this, if you work for the Vatican, don't expect a big paycheck. It was a low paycheck for the time. It's probably the closest I ever came to being homeless, to be honest with you. My apartment was not spacious. It wasn't dirty, but look, the first time Jam saw it, I'm sure she had second and third thoughts, but she had to trust me on this. Mindy, I'm so glad you're learning. That has always been my goal. I love teaching because I actually learn as much from the people I'm teaching as hopefully they do for me. Yeah, 3 neurospicy teenagers. Now, I'm not saying that teenagers aren't a challenge. I'm not saying they're easy. I'm just saying they're good people. That's all I'm saying. Angry honey badger. I will say this: teenagers are the angry honey badgers of the child world. Um, it was not terrifying. It was different. Oh, Heidi, I'm so sorry. Oh God, seizures are now that is terrifying. That is, I am so sorry. And Zvir, I'll tell you, yes, teenagers have an odor. And by the way, I would say this, not just teenagers. I teach college students. Let me just say that on roughly a 5-to-1 ratio, the male college students need to learn that body spray is not a substitute for bathing. And I'll just leave it at that. So Heidi, I wish you only the best for you and your teenager with the EG. I know that's scary as heck. The good news is we no longer think they're possessed by evil spirits. So, hey, we'll take it. So. Oh, Zara, 80s. But see, this is precisely why I'm so glad you're in stream. Yeah, we do have very good doctors. And listen, I'm going to tell you right now, you would never want to live in any other time period other than this one. Trust me. If anyone invents a time machine, please smash it immediately. You don't want that. Oh, we discovered the Fountain of Youth.
Into the water.
We discovered a natural wonder. That's going to help.
Also, O King,
okay.
Sank into the sheet of water. In the next moment, they all came out.
So yeah, this. See what natural. Oh, welcome in, Lucy. Oh, see, 80s babies. Not a lot of good came out of the 80s. Movies, music, and some of the people. So, this Gen Xer loves you all. I was actually technically a Nixon baby, but so yeah. So the cool thing about this is this one tile. We're gonna want to build a city over here because this one tile gives us a huge amount of science and faith. So we are gonna try to grab that. Frankly, before Yadviga does. All right, where is... Okay, here is my scout. And we are near Paris. This is where I have to do my stereotypical French. Michu, please don't be offended. I have a great and abiding love for the French. All right, so we are going to irrigate the rice over here because this is going to give us a huge boost to food. Heidi, you and I are about the same age, and that's wonderful. Lucy Johnson, we're close. We're close. No offense, all of us born in the 70s or late 60s, at this point it really no longer matters. Okay, so we're going to give our... Oh god, that is really close to Jadviga. Dang it. That is... And this is a technical term, everybody. No bueno. Oh, that's true. Yeah, Quebecois and French are not synonyms. I absolutely do know that. So, by the way, fun fact, Mishu, you will appreciate this. I actually did my doctoral dissertation. I was doing a comparison of the Western frontiers. So about half my dissertation is actually on Canada. It's on the Canadian prairies and the Northwest Mounted Police. So, fun fact. Okay, I'm going to cut through the outskirts of Paris here. You don't mind, do you, Catherine? Nah, we're tight. Well, it's not like she can say no. All right, let's clear this out. I will say this, the Fountain of Youth is singularly ill-placed. That is not convenient at all. I don't think I'm going to get it. I think it's too far away. So, yes, Mishu, I'm actually one of those Yanks who actually knows full well what the Métis are, thank you kindly. I am also a member of the Association for Canadian Studies in the United States, because we academics love nothing more than absolutely, thoroughly obscure academic clubs. So, there we go. All right. Ooh, we're going to get some wine. It's wine time. England is interesting. I agree with you, Lucy. England is interesting. Oh yeah, I am going to have to figure out how to do those exclamation point thingamabobbers. You like my technical terminology, by the way, thingamabobber? But yes, I use no bueno frequently. So, okay, so let us... Oh my God, Paris has so much mining. That's not fair. She gets all the cool stuff. Oh well. Well, I remember the old English commands. Yes, that's it. I remember the old English phrase. When in doubt, blame the French. I'm glad you like thingamabobber. I will also accept, by the way, as another correct answer, doohickey. All right, I'm going to do something here. We've got some money. I'm thinking I don't want to wait 28 turns. I'm just going to buy that. Now, the nice thing is it extends your borders, but the nicer thing is that will allow me to get some more production going here. Doohickey, thingamabobber, what's it? All good words. Another good one from when I was growing up in Chicago was, what's it? Again, Chicago's kind of got a very interesting slang all by itself. Okay, let's explore this great southern desert here. Oh, good, we got our second city. The problem is, okay, I think the way is shut over here. I could plop this city down over here, but that puts it real close to Jadwiga. I need somebody on my side. I could go out this way, build a port, but there's not a lot of production there. I don't like that. By contrast, going out this way, I think, is probably the way to go. Let's see. I could build there. That would get some production. Let's do this. I think I'm gonna put this city all the way over here. It's gonna take them a while to get there, but it'll be worth. The Wolf of Badnock. That's amazing. Oh, Lucy. That is very cool. Went to the place and did the thing. Oh, Zara, you're a Frazier. I know I technically have an ethnically Celtic last name, but I got news for you. A, it's Irish, and B, the only Irish thing about me is really my surname. I just got to be honest. Ooh, we have discovered Zanzibar. You have to admit, Zanzibar is a wonderful name for an exotic city. That's a great name. You could not ask for a better name than that. That just sounds delightfully exotic. All right, let us see. And of course, Catherine got there first. Why? Because she's Catherine. Oh my. All right, now state workforce. What do I have to do in order to get a build a specialty district? I can do that. Okay, so we are cooking right along. If there's something anyone needs me to explain, please tell me. Okay, that said, all right, now we got, oh, here we go. Build a campus. The college professor in me approves. Oh, look at this. See, now, if we're going to pay 60 gold, I can't actually see how much money I have because it's covered by my menu bar. But look at that bonus. You get bonuses for every mountain nearby. +4, yes, please. We are going to build a campus. sip time. Happy Fresca. And now I have sheepies, which has allowed me to get a bonus for horseback riding. By the way, this this stream is not meant for kids, so I feel no guilt whatsoever. But I am going to share with you a fun fact about livestock herding and how clueless men can be. So I'm sure you will find this appreciative. Before recorded history, men had no idea. Oh, wait, well, hold on. Whoa. Oh, it's the Mahapajits, Indonesia, medieval Indonesia. What was her name again? Gitarja, that's her name. That is a fascinating civilization, by the way. The Majapahit civilization. It existed in what is today Indonesia in the, I might be a little off here, but I believe the 13th, 14th, and 15th centuries. And a fantastic seafaring Thessalonic civilization. Actually, in some ways, very comparable to the classical Greeks, in a way. So, can you have workers work autonomously like in Civ 5? I think so. I just don't trust them. I gotta be honest. Okay, forgive me. I might have been a little slow on the uptake here. Why are we talking about myths? I mean, myths are cool.
We have trained
A physician without an...
Actually, Greek myths, and this will give you an idea of just how atypical our child's upbringing was. Greek myths were some of the bedtime stories. Yes, the G-rated version, of course, that I read to our daughter growing up, and she fell in love with those stories. All right, I got to figure out how to do mining because it's just embarrassing that I don't know how to do this yet. Oh, good. We have our defensive unit. So I believe the first thing we should do, we need to build a holy site. Well, +2 would be nice, but it's not really that critical. I'm just gonna... Still your bedtime stories. I'm not that old, but maybe I could. But of course, fun fact, my dad actually introduced me to Greek mythology too. So it is something of a family tradition. So that's one of the nice things. I didn't have a ton of happy childhood memories, but those were some of them. Hold on, just a moment. Hold on. Hold on. Give me 2 seconds, folks. I'll be right back. Okay, sorry about that. Speaking of restrictions, okay. So before recorded history, way back when, this is like oh no, it's Tomiris. Okay, first of all, the Scythians are cool. Oh, Mr. Deb. Okay. Carolyn, you're not wrong. Barbarian is fun to type. The Scythians as a civilization are very cool. Tomiris is an absolute badass, but in the game, she is a colossal pain in the keister. So the good news is she's not nearly as annoying as the Mongols. So let me go ahead.
We have the opportunity.
Every nation lives by
And, oh, we can, all right, new stuff. So let's see. Naval units. I'm a long way from building naval units, so I'm not going to use that. But we're getting close to trade routes, although I'm not there yet either. So I think I'm going to have to stick with what I've got, I think. Yeah, we'll stick with what I got. Oh, no, don't want a screenshot. And now I can make trade routes. Great. Just after I... Oh, let me see. Can I still do it? I can still do it. Okay, good. So we're going to do that. Okay. Boost for early empire. Yay! Let's do craftsmanship. All right. All right, so we've pretty much uncovered all this. Is this a good map? It's an okay map. I've had better, but... Oh, Lord, and Tomiris out this way. I really dislike being sort of shunted into this little corner of the map. I'm definitely going to have to build some boats if I'm going to survive. But, oh well. The punches, we roll with them. This is, Lucy, this is Civilization 6. I actually didn't care for the new game, so I decided to play the old game. So, we got most of the expansion packs in this one. So we've got a ton of civilizations. Excellent. Thank you very much. Okay. Well, let's, I think it's time. I'm going to truck this guy back to Athens. Because I really don't like leaving my capital undefended. Yeah, the Scythian, yeah. They sound like a fantasy race. They really, really do. But no, the Scythians are very, very real. And very, very cool. Yeah, I think I'm going to absolutely have to do our barbarian stream. Oh, goody. Tomiris is expanding in my direction. Lovely. Great. Oh, the humiliation. She's more advanced than me. Yeah, Civilization 7, I think, in the words of Chief Engineer Montgomery Scott, I believe they overthought the plumbing on that one. I think they got a little too ambitious. It is... Oh, good. We've got our envoy with Zanzibar. However, before we get to the barbarian stream, I got to finish at least getting to the moon. So we got to do that first. Then we can do barbarians. I think I'm going to have to learn sailing sooner rather than later, which kind of makes me sad. Okay. Oh, we built our campus. Excellent. I could build a holy site, but right now, I think... let's see. Wonders... I wonder. Well... Okay. We're going to build a trader first, because money is always a good thing in this game. We must get to the moon. Yes, I left off at Apollo 10. We have to tell the story of Apollo 11. And for once... Oh, goody. The French have founded a religion. Ah, goodness.
My lead. The more specialized...
Oh, that's some rocky terrain up that way. It has been ages since I have played D&D. I've played other RPGs. I usually, and I know nobody will be in any way shocked by this, I usually wind up DMing, because of course I do. But there's some good ones out there. Okay, and I think we are going to build the mine there. Oh, absolutely. I'm jealous. A good D&D campaign is fun. It's just fun. And it's a remarkably wholesome way to spend the day. Well, depending on the kind of campaign you're running. Oh, you'll appreciate this. I forgot to tell you I forgot to share with you my not quite for kids history fun fact. Um, so we were talking about ranching and domesticating animals. Well, here's the thing. Before recorded history, men had no idea where babies came from. They just didn't. As far as they knew, women had superpowers because they could create little people. That's why most prehistoric civilizations were actually matriarchal, not patriarchal. Women held most of the power. But, and they learned this from watching animals, once men figured out that sex led to kids, then it became incumbent upon them to remember, we don't have DNA tests. They've got to keep track of which kids are theirs. This is why so many early civilizations place such a premium on restricting access to the womb. So, oh, I know our city is ready. So let us do that. Let us plop a city down here. So, what city did we get? We got Argos. Delightful city. All right, where do we want to go? All right, we have pretty much... I think I am now in the position where I'm ready to start automating my poor little scout. Let's see. You need to... Hold on, I can't see. There, Slinger. There we go. Oh, goodness. And Dev homebrew campaigns are the absolute best campaigns. And Mishu, yes, I would argue women do have superpowers. I happen to be married to one, so.
It isn't just up. The
Oh,
number
Vessels
excellent.
large may venture more.
We've discovered sailing, and we can build a trade route. So let's see what trade route we want to do. Well, we're going to get the most money with Muscat. So let's do that. Besides, I could use a road out that way. Alrighty. All right, now this comes arguably one of the most tense parts of the tree. Bronze working. Bronze is insanely important historically and in the game. Bronze technology makes or breaks essentially your military. Every decent classical unit needs bronze. Bronze was a wonder metal, by the way, in the ancient world. But if you don't have, nobody knows if they have any iron nearby until you research it. So we shall see. Oh, I've discovered religion. That good old time religion. Lucy, I completely agree. Of course, I am also heavily biased, but yes. All right, what kind of a religion do we want? Let's see. We are kind of late to the game here, unfortunately. So we're not going to get, well, we're going for culture. We could do the pasture one, but we can't exactly count on that. Oh, gosh. We do have quite a bit of wine, though. That gives us extra food, which, I mean, don't get me wrong, nice, but... Oh, snicky snacks are always good. Growing faster. This is a tough challenge, especially when all the good ones are gone. Oh, goodness. This is a very sort of meh run. Let's see. Mine's over street. No. I know I'm not actually speaking in complete sentences here. I do apologize for that. I'm just sort of musing idly to myself. Oh, goodness. So I think what we will do... Where is... that's not helpful. Well, you know what? Well, I got one city near rainforest. I think we are just going to do Monument to the Gods. So there we go. Have I played Assassin's Creed? Oh, Lucy, I have played them all. Love the Assassin's Creed series. Love it, love it, love it. Okay, I think we are going to build the Hanging Gardens to help our growth a tad. I'm going to spend the money to build it over here. Can I build it there? I can't build it there. Shoot. Oop. Well, I'm going to have to build it here. Lucy, what's your favorite Assassin's Creed, or some of your favorite Assassin's Creed games? I enjoy them because, frankly, it allows me to do fun history and enjoy things at the same time. So yeah, I find them to be a lot of... So. Oh, good. I can yammer. Excellent. It's good to know we are all pro yammer. Yeah, I know. Where's my room service, right? I have a chocolate croissant from Panera waiting for me. All right, let us see. Oh, here's a shock. The French want wine. Origins is really good. I loved the story of Bayek and Aya. Bayek, the voice actor for him is absolutely amazing. I love Assassin's Creed Origins. Actually, pretty much everything since Origins I have thoroughly enjoyed. Shadows was probably Mirage was probably the least impressive, and that was pretty darn good anyway. I do love the Ezio series, though. It put the games on the map. I am so stoked for the remastered version of Black Flag. I might have to stream that. We will see. Thank you, Tamiris. Now let's see. Okay, here's the good news. Catherine and Gitarja like me, so that's good. Friends are important. And I finally got some envoys because I built my holy site. Yay! All right, what are we doing here? Oh, let's see. Could build a shrine. I think we're going to build a shrine. Debbie, which Assassin's Creed ones do you have? Is it just Assassin's Creed 2? Amanda, Mr. Jam is a nerd. Are you kidding me? I'm a history professor. And I'm going to start, yes, I am a nerd. I am a proud nerd. You should be proud of one's nerddom. It means you care passionately about something. It's principles, people. Bishu, I gotta say, not only did I love Valhalla, and by the way, you get no points for guessing. My first name is Soren, so yes, I am ethnically Scandinavian. I gotta tell you, and this is gonna sound horrible to say, sacking monastery should not be that much fun, but it really, really was. All right, I'm gonna have to build a new city pretty darn soon. Thankfully, we got money. Ooh, I have discovered Amsterdam. Mr. Deb, I salute you. Lo, and the nerd shall inherit the earth. I'm pretty sure that was in Ephesians somewhere. Okay, let's see if we actually have any. Oh, thank God, we do have iron, and I already built a mine over it. Oh, there's some kismet. Oh, thank heaven. Oh, oh, Weasley, welcome in, and welcome to history gaming. So wonderful, wonderful. No, 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 no. You have to understand. When you're a nerd, there is no such thing as a useless item. Everything has a use. Whether it's productive in the workplace capitalist sense is irrelevant. The bad news is I think that might be the only source of iron. Oh, no, no. Oh, wow. Holy cats. Do you guys see this? Oh, yeah. I got to put a city down here. Oh, my goodness. That is wonderful. Yeah, that's happening. All right, what are we going to research next? I should probably... Currency would be a good thing. What's that ABBA song? Money, money, money. By the way, to give you an idea of my particular vintage, i.e. how old I am, my beloved wife has a channel devoted to Disney Dreamlight Valley, owns I don't know how much Snoopy merch, and claims she is not a nerd. Okay. What she is, however, is my nerd. I'm going to go ahead and automate this little dude. All right, Argos, you have successfully defended yourself. Well done. You need some production, my dude. So you are going to need... Let's get you a builder. Actually, I'm going to buy a builder, because you really need some production there. I think... Do we want a holy site? I don't think so. I think we want another campus. Let us see. I actually can't see how much... All right, someone type in how much money I've got, because I actually can't see it, because my taskbar is actually covering it. Oh, you guys broke the light goal. Thank you. Oh my gosh. I am overcome. Thank you all. This means a lot, folks. It really, really does. You are delightful people. Ooh, Coco. All right. Well, we will. All right, we got a new light goal. Oh, thank you all so much. Thank you very much, Mishu. Appreciate you. Early Empire. Oh, let's see. Oh, yeah, I think we're going to have to start building some settlers, because we need to expand our glorious and wonderful Greek Empire. All right. What civics are... Okay, I'm going mysticism for one reason. I finally will actually get another envoy, so hopefully I can go ahead and start getting some of these city-states on my side. Have I been sipping responsible? Me and my Fresca. Mishu, how dare you? I have been sipping, and it's not Coke. At least not today. Okay, well now I have horses. Let's start harvesting some fish, shall we? Alrighty. My voice is starting to give out a little bit. Oh, ooh, I've reached the classical era. I can now build markets, or as the Greeks called them, an agora. Markets, as you will not at all be surprised. Okay, so I'm to recruit great people. That's neat. We're the center of life in the ancient world. Hey, look, then is now. What do? You go to the mall. That's what we do. Technically a geek and not a nerd. Okay, well, I'll go with that. To be fair, guys, I am used to talking quite a bit, given my occupation. But we now are in summer. So all that energy, all that conversation, all that nonstop talking now is only jams to enjoy. Every day, all day, forever. At least until August. So, if we're lucky, there is a geek inside us all. If we are lucky. But yes, people should not be afraid of geekdom.
The ascent to the highest story
Did
is
we
by
build it?
stairs.
We have built the Hanging
At their
Gardens.
side are water engines, by means of which persons pointed expressly
By the way, as a
purpose
total aside, I
continually
love these
employed
animations.
water from the
Our
Euphrates
architecture
into the
and
garden.
engineering have always interested me. I'm not good with math, so I never became an engineer or an architect, but I do find it fascinating. I like to say, I know just enough to be dangerous, but I also love these historic quotes that they give us for all these. So we have built a wonder, and now I'm sorry, I want to get around to building that library, but we need another city, so we're going to build a settler. A settler. Apparently that's my settler song. And we'll build another settler. Now notice our borders have solidified. That means we are now closing our borders.
Everything has its limit. Iron ore cannot be educated into gold.
By the way, I would also like to point out this quote here. For my money, Mark Twain is one of the greatest Americans who ever lived. Might be the best author this continent has ever produced. I know I'm gonna get some hands for that, but the man's wit was incredible, and he was a cat lover. So,
mysticism is the mistake.
Shout out to Mark Twain. Great science. I'm gonna go for great profit first, not because I'm going for a religious victory, because once you get one, you can't get any more. Emily, we have a box game of Settlers of Catan. We have yet to crack it open. I need to get my family in on this. I'm going to research this so we can finally build a harbor. All right, what's civics? We're going to do state workforce. Oh, good. Finally, I can place, let's see, how many? Jadwiga, oh God, she's already taken over Muscat. Great. Tamiris is making a play for Zanzibar. No one's making a play for Mitla. I like that. Okay. I will place it in Mitla. Jesse, I completely agree. We absolutely need to get Settlers of Catan. By the way, do you know what Mark Twain famously said about cats? He argued that cats were domesticating people, and argued that that the cats would never permit themselves to be adopted by humans because to do so would, in his words, unfairly ennoble a person and unfairly demean the cat. So yes, he preferred cats to people. Weasley has a question. What is the question? I missed a question. Oh no. Oh, chefs in medieval times. Yes, please. What is it? I apologize. Thank you, Carolyn, for letting me know. So that is a great question. Okay, so we don't have any exact cases, no case that I'm aware of a royal chef being accused of treason. Now, bear in mind, the assumption normally was that a spy had poisoned the food taster and not the chef. The chef had nothing to gain by betraying their master. Hey, listen, for the chef, it was their source of employment. So, not to my knowledge. Although I did have a student at one point ask me, he was convinced that processed food gave us food allergies. And I asked him, okay, that's interesting. Why do you believe that? And he said, well, because you never hear about things like peanut allergies in the Middle Ages. And so I told him a couple of things. I said, okay, well, thing number one is peanuts are indigenous to the Americas, so they didn't exist in medieval Europe at all. But thing number two is the reason you don't hear about peanut allergies is there are so many ways a person could die before the age of 5 in the day and age before modern medicine that they didn't know it was the allergy. It could have been anything, frankly. So yeah, it's not really, they didn't know it was the peanuts. So there you go. But yeah, food allergies, we have no data for that because there's no way to tell. Was it a food allergy? Was it a pathogen? Because, well, let's be honest, they didn't know germs caused disease back then. And it was a germy world, for want of a better term. So there's so many things it could have been. I hope that answers your question. So I am sorry I missed the question. I will try to do better next time. Okay, we have our settler. Uh-oh. Oh, look. Oh, look. Could we maybe get the Fountain of Youth? Could we possibly? I think we could. And there's iron. Actually, Mishu, fun fact. Being 30 was not actually considered old age. Okay, all right, grab your popcorn. Here we go, guys. History fun fact time. 35 was the average life expectancy in pre-modern times. However, averages can be completely skewed. Be very, very cautious of average. On average, Jeff Bezos and I both make, $500,000 a year. I guarantee you I am drastically dragging down the curve on that. 99.99% of that is Jeff. Or theoretically, if I, on average, if I have 1 foot encased in ice and 1 foot in boiling water, I should be absolutely perfectly comfortable. I will not be. So when we say the average life expectancy was like 34, 35, that meant that if you made it to adolescence, you had an excellent chance in the medieval or ancient world to make it to about 60 or so. Now, that was not uncommon. The problem is so many people died before the age of 5 that it completely skews the curve. Now, I don't quote me on this with exact numbers, but children born there had like a 1 in 5 chance of not living to see their first birthday. I mean, in some societies, they didn't name their children before their first birthday in the same way that it was kind of like you don't name your goldfish. Don't get attached. Let's see if they survive the first year, then we'll name them. Mr. Left Shark, welcome. I have heard so much about you. This is the first time we've met face to screen. So welcome, come on in. And even if you got past the age of 1, you had maybe a 1 in 10 chance of not making it to age 5. I mean, listen, many of you are parents. You know as well as I do that toddlers have zero self-preservation instincts. And in the ancient world, there were so many more ways you could die. Just so many more ways you could die. And therefore, it dragged down the average. So it wasn't that 30 was considered old. It was that by the time you reached the age of 30, or it was that if you made it, how do I put this? If you made it past 5, you had a pretty good chance to make it to 60. But so many died before the age of 5 that it brought the median age down into the mid-30s. Okay, I'm talking so much about that. I got to figure out what the heck we're going to build. I don't know what to build. All right, this is Athens. I'm going to build the library. We need a library. Sorry. Coco Weasley Shark. I know. I'm a brand new newbie channel. And Tamiris is upset because I haven't founded a religion yet. Maybe I don't want to found a religion.
To have a happy and engaged workforce.
Actually, that's a lie. I kind of do. But, all right. Leave things as they are. I think my settler got stuck. We're going to try sending them that way. And Misha, you're absolutely right. And Lucy, you're absolutely correct. Then as now, the more money you had, the higher the chances of survival, at least to the age of 5. Now, the fun, I shouldn't say fun. The interesting thing is that actually wealthier people, especially in medieval Europe, actually tended to have a somewhat shorter lifespan because actually in some ways their diets really sucked. Now, your average peasant didn't have a great diet either, but at least they got a little slightly more varied diet. They at least got some vegetables because they didn't have it, well, frankly, any other choice. But the elites, look, nobody liked eating their vegetables then or now. And I know some people probably do. So as a result, they tend to eat a lot of rich foods, a lot of meats, meat. If you want to know what that did to the elites, look no further than Henry VIII, who apparently was just an absolute magnificent physical specimen who very quickly deteriorated due to overindulgence and essentially became a morbidly obese gout sufferer well before his time. Let's see if my settler can get there.
No hour of life is wasted.
I have learned to ride horses. Okay. Yeah, I've learned to ride horses. Maybe it's time I invent the wheel at some point. Oh, goodness. Oh, God, yes. Heart disease. I can only imagine. Hey, listen. Henry VIII's cholesterol must have been through the roof. I can only imagine.
Though our population grows, there is is little room for
Okay.
Your Grace.
Good news is we're growing. Bad news is we need some more housing. So good news is I'm building a settler. So that should even out the whole... Jadwiga has built the Oracle. Does anyone here remember? There was a TV show about 20 years ago. I can't believe it's been 20 years. Does anyone remember The West Wing? Because one of the president's speech writers, Toby, played by what was his name? Richard Schiff, had a great line about why he didn't eat salads. He said, because you could cover it in ranch or barbecue sauce and it would still taste like the ground. Oh, hey, we are getting that old-time religion. And it's Siddhartha Gautama. How appropriate.
Our popular...
Yes, Toby Ziegler. All right, so now we got to figure out, what is this city going to build? We need to build some housing. We could build a preserve. We could build an encampment. Probably going to need to build an encampment. I'm not saying it's because I got two neighbors next to... Oh, yeah, actually, that's exactly what I'm saying. It's because I've got two neighbors right next to me, and they're scary. Yes, and my beloved's #1 squeeze, Bradley Cooper, and I'm not upset about it either, because, like, he had a very, very... Bradley Cooper. Did I say Bradley Cooper or Bradley Whitford? I think I said Bradley Cooper. I meant Bradley Whitford. But Bradley Whitford, Josh Lyman, like myself, had a very pronounced and manly forehead. All right, time to found a religion. And since it is Siddhartha Gautama, otherwise known as the Buddha, I think we're going to be some Buddhist Greeks. Which is also appropriate because, fun fact about Professor Professor Soren Fanning, I am a Buddhist. So, there you go. Did the Greeks eat a lot of food? If they could. Food was at a premium. All societies ate as much as they could. Food was short. Food was an absolute necessity. Most diets were probably pretty monotonous. And the Greeks didn't eat any more or less than anyone else, but they definitely had a distinctive diet, just given the physical geography. All right, let's see. What do we want to do? Campus, oh. Well, given what we're doing, I think maybe Jesuit education might be a good one. We're still going on to salad. Culture bombs in this game are good. They vastly expand your borders. I'm kind of tempted to do that. Not sure how useful that could be, though. Oh, here we go. What can we build? Pagodas are good for housing. That's... Meeting house gives you production, though. Or amenity. You know what? Amenities. You always run short on amenities in this game, so I think I am going to do that. Oh, we're losing Tabby. Okay, well, enjoy, Tabby. Have a great night. Yes, I found that religion. Okay. I gotta be honest, I am not used to... This is my very first gaming stream ever, by the way. Now, why did Guitarja just declared war on me? Why would you do that? You're nowhere near me. That was rude. Ugh. And Tamiris. Oh, God. Oh, God. That means that they have an alliance. Oh, poop. Wow. That's not cool. Thank you, Carolyn. Okay. What did I do? I think I existed. I got to be honest. I think that was my main sin, is that I existed and they didn't want me to exist close to them. Yeah, I need to make an alliance pretty fast. What are we going to do? Well, I'm going to, let's see. Athens is going to have to grow. So I'm going to plop down a preserve district. I am now going to start talking with Catherine because she likes me. Oh, how bad do you have to be to not even be in the friend zone? Good Lord. Well, looks like I'm off all by my lonesome. One thing I can do, however, is I have money, so I'm going to upgrade my slinger to an archer. And you, sir, are no longer going to go that way because Tamiris will eat you for lunch. So we are going to go south. Well, let's see. I'm going to save the game here. And since Guitarja and Tamiris are being meanie bobinis, that's what I'm going to name this, meanies. I did nothing to them. How dare they? Did that save? I don't think it did. X. Duh. Okay. Well, folks, I think that would be a good place for us to stop for tonight. Thank you for your patience as I learned this whole gaming stream thing. Hope the history fun facts were a lot of enjoyment for you. I know everyone is going to be up to their eyeballs in the new updates tomorrow. But who wins? What do you mean, who wins? Who wins? Who wins the war? I guess we'll find out next time. That's what you call a cliffhanger. So enjoy the update. Enjoy Hercules/Heracles. Thank you, Mishu. I appreciate. So we'll be back with more history goodness next time. For those of you who would like more history goodness and don't want to wait until next Tuesday, in 2 days, Space Race Episode 5 will be on the History Station at 10 a.m. Eastern. We're going to get to the moon. I hope everyone has a wonderful night. Thank you so much for everyone, for your patience, for your kindness, and most of all, for smashing like goals. Thank you very much to my mods, Deb, my beloved Jim, and of course our newest one, Carolyn. I hope everyone enjoys little Serby, and I hope you have a great night. I will not see my beloved Jam very much. You will. I may not. So take care. I no doubt will have summer school assignments to grade. So I will see you all next time. Have a lovely evening, everyone.